If you're new to real estate photography and the time is coming for you to do your first real estate photo shoot, this video is for you because I'm going to share with you 7 things that will help you make that first shoot and really your first few shoots go as smoothly as humanly possible. I still remember back to when I first did my absolute first real estate photo shoot and really like the first 10, I was scared every time. I messed a ton of stuff up and it still went well. So what I'm not saying is that if you don't nail all of these things, it's going to be horrible and you don't have a future in this business. What I am saying is that there are certain things that you definitely want to do right if you want to have as smooth of a possible first shoot experience, not only for you, but also for your clients, and ultimately launch your business on the right foot. So jumping straight into it, some of these tips are going to be like really practical and things that you'd probably say duh to, but I've seen a lot of people mess up. Some of them are going to be more mindset oriented. The first one is extremely practical. Charge everything before you go to that shoot. Put everything on the charger the night before. And then before you leave your house in the morning, what I want you to do is set up all your gear and take the first photo. And that's going to make sure that everything's in place, right? It's going to make sure your battery's in your camera and that you have your tripod and that the lens is attached and that the SD card has room on it and that you actually know how to shoot that first photo. So like before you leave that morning or whenever it is that afternoon, I want you to fully set up your gear and take a photo and then take that all to your car. It's so easy to accidentally forget something, and it always happens on like your first shoot because you're nervous, you're worried about everything. So just a really easy tip to make sure it goes right. Number 2 is leave at least 20 minutes early. So if your shoot is at 3 o'clock, you want to be there at least 2:55. I want you to leave 20 minutes before that, 2:35. The last thing you want to do is be running late on the way to your first shoot. It's just going to set everything up to be a chain of events you don't want to have happen. You're going to be even more stressed, whatever. We don't want that for you. The other thing is your clients love it when you're on time. Start that on day 1. We have a saying in our photo business, which is 5 minutes early is right on time. So, if you're 3 minutes before the shoot's supposed to start, you're pulling up, you're already late. It's an easy thing to control. It's something that you can control, which is when you leave the house. You can't control if you get into traffic. You can't control a bunch of stuff on the way, but you can control how much time you give yourself. And if you give yourself enough buffer, you'll be there on time. It's less stress on you for your first shoots. Long term, your clients will love it. It's something that will gain you business and get you raving clients, people who want to refer you. All right, moving on to number 3. When you first get to the shoot, don't just rush into it. I know you're going to want to make sure, you're just going to want to get it done, right? Take a second to step back, explain to the homeowner. Well, first introduce yourself, right? You have to make this experience good for them. Remember, it's probably their first real estate photo shoot. And I know it's yours as well, but it's also theirs. And so take a second to introduce yourself, explain that you're, if the agent's not there, you're Jake's photographer, and here's what I'm going to be doing. My little speech or whatever you want to call it is something like this after I introduce myself. I'll say, so first thing I'm going to do is walk around and I'm going to turn on all the lights in the property. I'm going to open blinds, just get everything perfect. And I typically move a thing or two just to like give it the final tighten up. Is that okay with you if I move a few things? And they're going to say yes most of the time. You say, all right, awesome. So I'm going to go do that. And then you're going to go around, you're going to turn on everything. And then when you're done, you'll let them know, hey, we got everything turned on. If you guys can do me a big favor and go hang out in that room over there. It's a really wide angle lens, so it's just really likely to see you in all the photos. If you start over there, I'll hang out over here, and then we'll just kind of switch. So I'll shoot everything down on this way, and then when I'm done, I'll have you move on to this side. Is that good? You're gonna tell them something like that, and they're gonna be like, yeah, absolutely. Number 1, you just got them out of your way so you can focus. Number 2, you literally just got them out of all of your photos because people do not understand how wide lenses are. They'll literally be looking into the lens like, can you see me? Yes, I can see you. And so it makes it way easier if you put them on that side. It's also not awkward for them. If you don't tell them where to go, they're like they don't really know where to go either. They don't know if they're supposed to follow you or what. And the last thing you want is them following you. All right, that's number 3. Number 4 is make sure that while you're doing the shoot, you take a second to still provide that good experience. So you can give them updates. You can let them know, hey, I got about 10 more minutes in here. You can let them know that you're done inside and you're about to go outside. Like, keep them updated on the process. Keep that experience good for them. And if they want to chat, talk with them. And that's part of what makes the experience good. So this isn't at any point specifically during the shoot. Like if they want to talk a lot at the start, hang out with them, talk with them, share with, do whatever. Be a normal human, provide a good experience. You can ask them where they're moving next. You can tell them how beautiful the house, whatever is right in that situation, right? The main tip here, number 4, is don't get so tunnel vision on the camera. You don't provide that good experience. All right, number 5, breathe before you go into the shoot. It is super normal to be scared. My hands were shaking the first shoots I did, shoots plural. I just did a video with Kevin recently that you may or may not have seen. He now has a $50,000 a month photo business, and he started it a little bit less than 2 years ago. And that was one of the questions I asked him was like, how'd you feel? And he was like, I was shaking before the first shoot. So you're not alone if you get there and you're nervous. I think it's more unusual if you're like perfectly confident, not scared at all, than it is if you're nervous. Like all of us, that have gone on to build great photo business, we're nervous. That's just part of it. Breathe. It's part of the process. Don't let those nerves prevent you from doing your first shoot. All right. Number 6, expect the unexpected. So everything that you learn, something's going to go different at the shoot, right? The homeowner is going to be like breathing down your neck the whole time. Maybe you get that on the first shoot, maybe you don't. Or you're going to get there and the house isn't ready. Or you're going to get there and the agent's going to ask for some weird picture that doesn't make sense. Or there's going to be a lot of pets you have to move. Something's going to go wrong. That's a real estate photo shoot. Still get the shoot done. Go with the flow. Remember, the most important thing that you can do is make the clients happy. So if you get there and they're frantically cleaning the house, frantically clean the house with them. If you can tell they're limited on time and the house is a mess, respect that. Shoot the house as it is. Like, expect the unexpected and you'll do well. Ultimately, the nice thing about shooting real estate is it's not like weddings where you can miss the kiss, right? It's a house. It's going to be there tomorrow, and just let that, bring you some peace. Be really calm about it and do your thing. Ultimately, just remember, making the clients happy is the most important thing that you can do. All right, number 7, and honestly, the most important tip of them all is if you're watching this video and you haven't done your first shoot yet, the reason you haven't done your first shoot, I would guess, is because you haven't put yourself out there and tried to get your first shoot because you don't feel ready. Very normal. The biggest piece of advice I can give you is that you have to go out there and get your first shoot done, even if you don't feel ready, because there's really no amount of prep that you'll do that will help you actually feel ready. And the only way you gain experience is by getting experience, and you get experience by doing the real thing. So don't put that shoot off. There's kind of a funny thing that happens in coaching where people will join and then they have the stuff they need to do to get their business set up, and we'll tell them, hey, like, we know you have to do this, but like part of the checklist is starting to reach out to clients. And they'll be like, well, I'm not ready to get a shoot yet. And we'll be like, it's okay. You won't get one for a while. We want to start that process soon. And a lot of times that's true. But my absolute favorite thing that happens is when someone who's brand new gets a client in their first week and they're like, I have a shoot next week and I have no idea how to shoot real estate. I'm like, awesome. That energy, they always figure it out and they always do better because they launched sooner and they got, they put themselves out there and they started doing it, even if they didn't feel ready. So it's kind of like a little trick I like to do, but I like when people get their first shoot before they're ready. There's just something about that you'll get it done. There's one very funny story. I remember a guy joined and we're talking with him. He has a great photo business now, and I didn't know him at the time. And I knew he was like really wanting to grow his photo business, but he also was like very fearful of stuff happening too fast and just the normal fears you have when you're starting, right? And he asked me in a group call, he was like, Eli, should I launch with all of my services, even though I don't know how to do drone? He had his license, but he didn't know how to do drone stuff. He didn't know how to do video, 3D tours. And I was like, no, launch with all that. The chances that someone orders your huge package for the first shoot is very low. So my guess is you won't even get that, and it's like better to have it listed. Well, it happened. The first shoot was a full package, like an $800+ shoot. This guy was like, I have no idea how to do anything. And I was like, well, awesome. Here's all the training. Like, you'll get it. We'll be here with any questions you have. Go do it. He stayed up all night. It sucked for him because his shoot was a couple days later and he was really nervous, but he literally got it done, crushed the first shoot, it wasn't even a free shoot. He made the $800, and then he got a client who continues to use him because he was willing to put himself out there and got that $800. And guess what? He figured everything else out, the videos, the 3D tour, faster than he would have without that pressure. And so all I'm saying with these two different instances is put yourself out there, get that first shoot before you feel like you're ready, and that's how you actually work and make progress to grow your business. So hope this video was valuable. Go get your first shoot, and if you want help, if you want us to handhold you through the process, check the link below. We'd love to talk with you about your market and what your goals are, and we have awesome coaching programs if you're in a place where the market makes sense and we can actually help you. So click that link below, talk with my team, ask them any questions you have. I'll see you in the next video.